Bitcoin has taken a little bit of a dip today, but to be completely honest with you, there is a catalyst that is causing this that I actually think is going to do exactly what Bitcoin did when the ETF launched. So when the Bitcoin ETF launched, we actually saw a big dip as well, which we're seeing right now with Ethereum. So Bitcoin's down 2% on the day. We actually see Ethereum as well taking a little bit of a dip from this 3,500 level all the way down to where it is right now. I'm going to go over why this is happening, as well as why I expect altcoins to really bounce off of this. And I'm going to give you guys 4 tokens that I think are going to be phenomenal buys at this point in time. One of them is a super short-term trade, and then 3 of them are going to be over the next few weeks. I think these will materialize very nicely if you have the conviction during this ETF dip. So no editing today. Let's jump right into it. First and foremost, like the video and subscribe down below. If you aren't already subscribed, we post the most content as far as crypto gaming, AI coins, airdrops, all that good stuff across the entire YouTube space. So like the video, subscribe down below, and tell your friends where you're getting all that crypto gaming alpha, as well as shout out to all of our sponsors here on In The Game. We have Ultra, Dreams Quest, NordVPN, Moon Tropica, and Real Fever, as well as all of our exchange partners down below in the description. Bybit, Mexi. We have BitGet, we have Blowfin, we have Avo. We have options if you want non-KYC, KYC, if you want a SEX, if you want DEX. And we're not talking about that type of SEX. We're talking about a centralized exchange or a decentralized exchange. Get your head out of the gutter. I know we're degens here in the crypto space, but let's just dive into it here. You can find all of our sponsors in the links down below in the description. But right now we are seeing a little bit of a dip across Ethereum and Bitcoin more so. I mean, Bitcoin is kind of getting hammered today. I mean, it's down 2.2% on the day, still up on the week and the 30-day. And we had a nice bounce from 54K. We can't really be too disappointed as to what we have seen right now with Bitcoin. But what we're seeing today is a little bit of a buy the rumors, sell the news dip as far as the ETH ETF. I think what I saw was about $112 million worth of inflows that came in today on the ETFs as far as Ethereum. So whether you think those are good or bad numbers, it's bullish in the fact that people now have exposure not only to Bitcoin, but to the Ethereum ETFs. From here, we probably see Sol ETFs. We probably see, as crazy as it is, like a Litecoin ETF. We probably see some sort of like a Doge or a meme ETF even. That probably will end up happening. So it's going to be interesting to see from here what ETFs get approved. But this is going to be a net benefit for the altcoin sector. I have no doubt about it. Let's just go back to the trajectory here of Bitcoin. When the ETF got approved, we actually saw Bitcoin take a plummet, and then it rocketed right back up to 71K. And then we saw this big regression here, and now leading back into the ETH ETF, we have seen the exact same thing with a lot of different catalysts. With the Trump assassination attempt, we actually have Biden stepping down in the election, which is quite an interesting, not surprising, I would say, update. And I know a lot of people are like, well, this isn't good for, this is not good for Trump. He would have easily won against Biden. I just don't see a candidate right now that's going to knock Trump off. Like, I don't think Kamala is going to outdo Trump. I don't think there's any way in my mind. But as Luke Belmar says, the last one was rigged. So they're going to try to do the same this time around. The weirdness has only just begun. But I think we see a similar pattern here. I think right now is still a net bullish period for Bitcoin and for Ethereum. Obviously, I think this is going to end up looking like the chart of Bitcoin, where it pumps into the ETF, and we just saw that since July 8th. We saw literally almost a $700 increase here in Ethereum. It was almost like a 25% gain over the month. Now we're seeing a little bit of a dip on the day, and over the week it's a little bit down. But I think we then see a surge back up because these inflows is simply a net positive. But what I'm most excited about is the money trickling down into alts. So alts, they have been tumultuous. Memes have been really dominating the sector, and it's hard to dispute that. But what Elio says here is so true, and I think we lose sight of it. Alt season comes after Bitcoin breaks all-time highs, not before. So stop analyzing and you're over analyzing. You are still early. And I completely agree here. And it goes back to what I've said here on the show multiple times. Like, we have not seen the alt season. So while you feel like your portfolio was rough for the last month, to be honest, as of today, my portfolio, just on that little bit of an altcoin bounce that we saw, let's go on a 30-day timeline. We have stuff like Billy. We gave you this crazy early. We gave you Billy. This is at 178 million. It's up 400% this month. We have stuff like Mantra, my number one RWA play, up 86%. Ponky and Mog, two that I'm heavy into. My favorite memes. I've said that many times. Up 83 and 82%. We have Crown up 34%. We have GPU back around $1, up 30% this month. Heroes of Mavia up 27%. Just these little moves in the market, my portfolio is looking absolutely stellar as of today. Like, I'm very excited, knowing also that we're nowhere near alt season. So what is going to happen when Bitcoin surpasses that all-time high? When ETH surpasses that all-time high? When Solana keeps running? When there's catch-up trades, which we're about to talk about right now? So right now in the market, there are a lot of good plays. Obviously, my thesis hasn't changed. I'm still stacking top gaming infra. I'm stacking smaller games with lower size, because if those hit, then those are going to be huge wins in my portfolio. I'm stacking the top chains and studios. I'm going in on some AI plays, the top tier stuff, and then memes. I have a little bit of a meme allocation. I'm in on Ohm for my RWA exposure. You know, that really hasn't changed, but I see 4 plays coming up in the next couple of weeks, one of them even that could materialize by the end of the week, that I think that you should be tuning into. Number 1 is Illuvium. This is the short-term trade of all of these. Illuvium, their global launch is on Thursday. So on July 25th, we will be seeing the 3 experiences inside of the Illuvium world going live to the public. It's going to be on Epic Game Store, available on PC. You're going to be able to jump into Illuvium Zero, Illuvium Arena, as well as Illuvium Overworld. So there's 2 things here. Number 1, I think playing this trade into the launch for Illuvium is a big play. Right now, it is on a dip as well, because what we have seen is a market pullback as of today. So right now, let's find Illuvium. It's around here somewhere. There it is. Illuvium's down 6% today. It is up a little bit on the week, but this was just at about $77. So if the market resurges off of this recent dip, which I think it will, I think that this is a fantastic trade for 2 reasons. I think you could put in a long on this, and we had told you to do this in previous shows, but I still think there's opportunity here for 2 reasons. Number 1, when these games like Illuvium go live, there's 2 things that happen. It's either a big time buy the rumors, sell the news, and the token dips, which this could end up being. But number 2 is the fact that if this game impresses and takes over the timeline and everyone's playing and everyone has sentiment around it, we have seen this. This is a tale as old as time now in the gaming space. Look at what Echelon Prime did before it went viral. Nothing, right? It hung around these levels for such a long time. But then right here, when they went live, you see the trajectory up to $27. And then we go to something like a Heroes of Mavia. When they launched, it went from like $183 up to $10. So what we're seeing here is opportunity. If you're betting on the gaming sector and you're betting on Illuvium, which I'm still very bullish on, I think you have an opportunity to get in here and either A, long it into the 25th and play the buy the rumor, sell the news, or on the flip side, bet on them impressing and being that next game launch that really does bring a shockwave to the gaming space, and then broader scale pumps the rest of the gaming market. That is also a big time possibility. And a little alpha, I'm having 𝗂𝗎𝗓 on a show here at the end of the week. I'm super stoked for that. So make sure you tune in for that when he comes on the show around the global launch. So number 1 would be Illuvium playing into the 25th, either buy the rumor, sell the news, or if you're betting on Illuvium big time, then I think that you could bet on them to maybe be that next game launch that brings a new wave of interest and liquidity into the market for gaming, because let's just be honest, Illuvium is one of the most hyped projects for the last 3 years. So if they come through the door with a home run, the gaming space is probably going to see a nice leg up. Number 2 is in the TON ecosystem. There's just so much opportunity here. And I know what people are going to say. The games are crap. It's just tap and play games. Whatever you want to term it, this is, as Simon from Goat Gaming said on our show on Saturday, this is the biggest opportunity since Facebook gaming, whenever there was the big onboarding for Mob Wars and Mafia games and Farmville, all that stuff on Facebook. This is the onboarding play of this cycle. And if you're leaning into the Telegram narrative, I think that you're going to be a big winner this cycle if you are a game. So we see stuff like 𝗨𝗟𝗧𝗏, which I'm so bullish on 𝗨𝗟𝗧𝗏, and the fact that they're leaning into the Telegram narrative, but aren't making the Telegram narrative their entire project, really makes me excited. So TON Station Games has 4 million users in the span of 1 month. Absolutely insane numbers. And that right there shows you the potential of TON. And when I look at TON, we're actually seeing a pretty good dip. It's down 10% this month. But the metrics inside the ecosystem are literally up only. We're seeing growth in users. We're seeing more active addresses than the entire Ethereum chain. So TON, to me, is one of the best overall altcoin plays you can make this cycle. But what I would be doing, I would go down the ladder and place a bet on 𝗏𝗏coin. This is actually the lowest we have seen 𝗏𝗏coin. I mean, other than here, which was bought right back up. I think that that's a pretty solid level of support here. I would be going heavy at these levels on 𝗏𝗏coin with the assumption that TON goes to $50-80 billion this cycle. You're probably going to see 𝗏𝗏coin, which is at 1.4 billion right now, hit 10 billion this cycle. So I would heavily be betting on it at this price specifically. It's down 15% this week, and we haven't seen TON, or not for that matter, do this type of a dip in quite a while. So I would definitely be in on this as the top gaming play in the TON ecosystem. But one I would give an honorable mention is Pixelverse. So this one had just launched, and to be completely honest, it's one of the biggest gaming ecosystems right now on TON. I'm hearing that there is going to be a pretty big announcement coming through the door that's really going to move the needle here, and their vesting schedule is pretty favorable. Like, with new launches, sometimes it's very risky because you're playing into big time unlocks. But right now with Pixelverse, I actually think there's a lot of opportunity, and the vesting isn't too harsh. So I gave you the top level play of not, and I think PixFi could be a good play here in the TON ecosystem as well. Number 3 is Avalanche. Avalanche is the sleeping giant right now. We see it in my background. I'm so bullish on Avalanche. I'm not so bullish on Polygon these days. I need to replace that pillow back there. But Avalanche is still one of my top plays as far as, you know, high level layer 1 blockchains this cycle. First and foremost, they have some of the best games in the space. Shrapnel, Off the Grid. They're doing play tests for some of their upcoming mobile games that are just absolutely smashing it in daily active users. So Avalanche Gaming, with their subnets, giving games the ability to build and scale on their own chain and really just consolidate all their transactions in their own ecosystem, use their native tokens as gas. With the quality of games combined with the tech, Avalanche is the catch-up trade here. We're looking at Avalanche, which over the year is up 230%, whereas Solana over the year is up 746%. And last cycle, Sol and AVAX were running kind of, Sol would run, Avalanche would run, and then there would be a leg up here and a leg up there. I think that Avalanche has not really had that major move yet. We were looking at just a couple months ago at $62 Avalanche. You have it under $30 today. I think this is a great catch-up trade in the market right now. And if you want more of a high leverage play that might not be so tied closely to Avalanche, but is tied closely to these games, with Shrapnel coming out with their next play test on the 25th. We have Off the Grid. I think Mainnet and Token are literally going live here in a very short matter of time. You can bet on Superverse, who is partnered up with both of these games. So Elio is pushing forward partnerships with My Pet, 𝗏𝗏𝗏, Metalcore, Wilder World, Shrapnel, Off the Grid, you name it. Elio's got his hands in it. So the lower market cap play of this would definitely be Super, because they are attached to the games in the Avalanche ecosystem. Whereas if you want to bet on a top level L1, less risk, so to speak, I think Avalanche is 100% a fantastic position at these levels. Just look at the recent months. When alts were pumping in December, we got to 48. When alts were pumping in February to March, this got up to $62. It's a no-brainer to me. So to recap what I'm looking at right now, Illuvium heading into global launch. I'm looking at TON, so I'm looking at Notcoin and potentially Pixelverse. I'm looking at Avalanche, and I am looking at Superverse. So those are the 4 trades that I'm heavily eyeing at this point in time in the market. And I have to say one thing about 𝗓𝗏𝗡. 𝗓𝗏𝗡 has taken a nice little bit of a step up. So 𝗓𝗏𝗡 was lagging, and it was right around that $1.50 level for quite some time. Over the week now, we're up 12% on 𝗓𝗏𝗡. I think that this is going to continue to rocket upwards, and I love their founder's outlook on what they want to make 𝗓𝗏𝗡, because recently the launches with the vestings and stuff, it's kind of been harder for the users to make money. But 𝗓𝗏𝗡, they say they're turning it into a gem factory, launching more low caps, seeing the thrill in the community, waking up to chats. People are euphoric and winning. I know how this all feels. I'm craving to bring this again with my team. So to be honest, I think 𝗓𝗏𝗡 as well is a fantastic position here, under $2. And this can 10x from here easily. I think 𝗓𝗏𝗡, $1 billion in the bull, that's a no-brainer. So that's what I'm looking at in the gaming sector. In the AI sector, I've really consolidated my bets. Tau, Render, and GPU. Really, for me, high level. I like PAL, I like based AI, and I like 𝗏𝗟𝗏 as well. But when I'm looking at upcoming projects, I think 𝗡𝗢 Protocol is one you need to have on your radar. One of the top level AI projects that I've ever come across. When I spoke with this team, I'm super stoked about everything that they have coming to market. And they just partnered up with Momate, who already is leading in the like AI agent type of marketplace. And as we see, this is projected to go to 51 billion by 2030, but they're already a big player in like the entertainment AI space with 3 million users. And they're going to be bringing a lot of utility to the 𝗡𝗢 protocol. 𝗡𝗢 is backed by Animoca. They have a node sale, I believe, going on right now. They term it to be a Web3 base layer for AI. It won the Chainlink hackathon. I think that this is going to be one of the best AI launches of the year when it comes to new projects, right alongside Aether, Skillful AI. I think 𝗡𝗢 is really going to send shockwaves into the market whenever this goes live. So just putting this one on your radar, because honestly, my altcoin portfolio in AI, it is what it is. Like, I like Desync, I like 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, I like PAL, I like GPU, I like Tau, Render, I like Blender. So those are the ones I'm really consolidated into at this point in time and just hyper focused on. But I'm looking forward to stuff like 𝗡𝗢 Protocol going live in the AI sector, as well as something to keep your eye on. I would have to assume there's going to be a big airdrop to do with this, but this is the abstract chain is being incubated by Igloo, which is behind Pudgy Penguins. This was a takeover from what was called Frame, and Frame was prepping for an airdrop. So getting into the airdrop alpha of the show, I think that Abstract is likely going to do a pretty substantial airdrop, and definitely one you need to be looking at. They're terming it as the consumer chain, like introducing Abstract, the blockchain for consumer crypto. They want to contribute to bringing the next gen of crypto users on chain. So this is definitely one I have my eyes on. Number 2 is Cube Exchange. A lot of influencers will come on their shows and tell you, look, you're going to regret not doing this. Fade at your own risk. Whatever the FOMO words that people use, right? Honest, like, I have worked with this team for a couple of months now behind the scenes on curating and making sure that they get their messaging out and sort of like really just maximizing this airdrop for their team. But knowing the tokenomics and knowing what they're fundraising at and how much fundraising they have, This is going to be one of the absolute biggest airdrops of Q4 24 or early 25. And if you aren't already on this platform, jump in, KYC, play around with it. I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed when this airdrop comes through the door. I think genuinely it will be one of the biggest airdrops that we have seen in crypto to date. Also, Fame Network just continues to add strength to their advisory board and their investor board. We had Steph Curry, Paul George, 𝗙𝗟𝗓𝗡, Slam Magazine. Now we have Julio, the CEO of Pixelmon, coming on as an investor. You can farm the Fame token right now. 30% is going to the community. So there's a lot of bread and a lot of food on the table for the people who hold their NFTs or participate in their rewards program. So definitely jump in and start farming the Rumble Kong League. And then the new alpha of the day is Space. So Space, their airdrop farming campaign started literally today. So you're very early on this. It's a new gamified NFT marketplace. And personally speaking, I'm tired of OpenSea. I'm tired of Blur, whatever the case is, and I need a new fun way of NFT trading. So Space Arena is open now for a value to earn experience. You can start farming this now. It is Space with 2A's_IO. Go check this out. Definitely going to be one of my I'm hyped about this one, and I know that their airdrop campaign is going to be up there with the likes of Lingo, which just concluded, I think, their airdrop campaign. So super stoked to see how this materializes. And as always, don't fade the meme narrative. Like, I see the comments, guys, and I've given so many winners as far as the meme space. Billy, Wolf, Mog, Brett, the list goes on. But at the same time, and Pepe, we literally 55x'd Pepe. People forget that. But what I want to say is, I see the comments, Hustle, you're a crypto gaming guy. Stop talking about memes. Okay, well, that's like telling an investor who only has Cardano, XRP, and Hex, no, don't go buy other coins. If he stays in those coins this cycle, he's not going to have the upside. Like, you have to pivot. And whenever you see opportunities in the market like memes, even though, yes, gaming is my absolute forte, and I love AI and RWA coins, memes are unfadable. And my core meme portfolio is locked in. I got Mog, which we're seeing the BlackRock Mog right in front of us on the screen. Mog, Brett, Ponky, Wolf, Billy, Redo. That's my meme portfolio heading into this cycle, and I'm more than confident in that. You don't have to sit in front of the screen and trade meme coins every single second of the day. But what you can do is plant money into the ones that have the most momentum and have continued to show that they will be leaders this cycle, and simply write them up. That is what I'm doing. And I just have to say, it's like telling an ADA investor he can't go do this because he's in ADA. Becker would give him a hard time, right? But at the same time, memes aren't my specialty. But I know where the momentum is right now in crypto. And I think gaming, AI, RWA, and memes, those are going to be the lead narratives this cycle, and I'm leaning into that. So my meme portfolio is set in stone. And then shout out to our sponsors here on In the Game. We have Moon Tropica, who, really one of my favorite projects in crypto gaming at this point. Their team is top notch. The game is amazing. The community is literally like a cult. The coin, when it moves, this thing absolutely moons, no pun intended. And they just partnered up with Neural AI. So Neural recently has taken a huge pump as well. And I like what Moon Tropica is doing, leaning into the AI side. They partnered up with Hash AI. They've partnered up with Neural. So this is another partnership that I think is really going to make an impact for Moon Tropica. We have Project Citadel coming out for Ultra. This is going to be the game that I think sets the standard for what Ultra can do in the space. As of now, they're kind of overlooked, like a lot of other projects just kind of outshine in the public sentiment what Ultra has. But Ultra, with their launcher, with the marketplace, with the uniques, with their blockchain that just went public, now they have Project Citadel. I think Ultra is a sleeping giant in the Web3 gaming space, and I should be able to jump into this game here very soon. The graphics look amazing, the armor, the details, the scenery. I'm super stoked to try this out, and I genuinely think this is going to bring a big user inflow to the Ultra app. And then last but certainly not least, and maybe the most important, Stay safe out there when you're navigating crypto. Use the link down below. You can get 30-day money-back guarantee, 4 extra months, and you get free 20 gigs of eSIM data when you use our deal in the description down below for NordVPN. The very least that you could do is protect your IP address, protect your anonymity. I think this is what... Be anonymous on chain, okay? And protect your anonymity down below. And I use NordVPN every show that I'm on here, so you guys should definitely check that out in the link in the description. That's going to do it for me. All in all, I think that today is very bullish for altcoins. The dip that we're seeing from the ETH ETF, I really don't think is too big of a deal. Honestly, I find it to be very bullish, and I think that we're going to see a big leg up whenever the market chooses to have that reversal back to the upside. That's just my opinion, though. Never financial advice. I'm just walking you through exactly what I'm doing in the market, things that I'm looking at. If you enjoy the video, you enjoy the content, like, subscribe, help us push towards 100K, and I'll see you guys on the next one. As always, play well, my friends.